It's important to understand in Joomla regarding your home page that the content that shows up on your home page is kept in a separate area. And in Joomla 1.5 and 1.6, you still have this home page, this idea of this home page or front page thing. So in this video, we're going to have go through the home page or front page manager, and you go up there by getting to content and down to front page manager. And what this is going to show us all the articles that show up on our home page. You'll notice that when you create an article or a content item inside your inside Joomla, that it asks, do you want to publish it to the front page? And what that means is, obviously, do you want it to show up on the home page of your website? But in addition to that, it'll also show up on this front page manager, and this is where we can order the things that show up on the front page. So obviously, we're going to have a handful of articles that show up on our home page of our website, and we can say, okay, well, I want the volunteers article to be number 1. So I would simply type in a number 1 there and a number 2 there, and click this little disc, and that's going to reorder the articles on the home page. I can also use the up and down arrows to move things here. You can change access levels to say, hey, when someone's logged in, I only want them to be able to see this. If you change the access level here in the front page manager, let's just change it for the Joomla license guidelines. So we change that to registered. When we go back to our content and article manager and we pull up that piece of content, let's see. It's also going to make it change the access level here. So it's going to change that from the front page and the article manager as well. So if any sort of characteristics that we change, even in this area in the article manager, will be reflected in the front page manager as well. This is just the front page manager just allows you to organize everything on your home page. So this is regarding the content and the articles that show up on your on the home page. Currently, you'll notice that we've got this to set to 1 column, showing the intro text for each one. And what we can do is we can change the way that layout looks by going up to menus and then main menu, and we have to go edit that front page component. You'll notice this says articles front page here. So this is actually the front page component. We can go click on home, and now we're going to have some parameters over here on the right that we can tinker with to say, okay, only give me 2 intro articles, the total number of links at the bottom, make it 2 columns, and give me 1 leading article. And then we go down to the advanced parameters. This is the order that we want them to show in. So the primary, if you look here, we can say order items by the category. No, primary order is going to be default. So meaning that the order that we put them in on the front page manager. In addition to that, do we want it to be multi-column, order articles across or down or across columns? So we can say order in the cross columns. So noodle through each of these. Look at the different at the tooltips that come through. They're pretty self-explanatory. And when we come down to the component, this is the components for the front page manager itself, the parameters for it. So we can show the unauthorized links. If yes, it will show links to registered content even if you are not logged in. So we obviously don't want it to do that. And again, tooltips, tooltips, tooltips. Use them. They did a really good job in Joomla of documenting this in a lot of these tooltips to let you know exactly what this stuff does. So pretty straightforward. You can override the global setting. These are your author name, created date, modified date. If you want these things to show up on the articles on the home page, you can override the global settings that we set in the article manager, which you'll notice these are some of the identical settings there. So these are front page only. And then again, down at the bottom of the system tab, this is important. We want our keyword there. That's going to be our page title for the home page. So we definitely want to be using that with the keyword in that. We want to show the page title. What this does is this, depending upon your template, it's going to assign this an H1 when the text renders on the page, and it's going to make it the title tag. So you definitely want to have that be somewhat keyword heavy. The page class suffix, if you're going to have any sort of additional CSS classes that you've created for the page, and then when we go and we apply those changes, what we did change was some of the basics here. This here you can see how that renders. Go ahead and refresh this page, and you'll see that we now have 2 columns. We've got 1 intro article, 2 columns, and those links down there. So that's how to edit the home page and the layout. It's pretty straightforward, and play with it, and hope that helps.